Good morning. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Yoga on the Mats. It's Sunday, and I'm so happy that you're here, able to join me wherever you are, whatever day it is where you are. Um, so, we're going to be going back to a little bit more of our traditional Yoga on the Mats formula, 90-minute. We'll flow through some asanas, begin with some breath work, and do a little breath meditation, and then begin with some of our opening postures. Open up the hips, the rib cage, the shoulders, the neck, and then we'll begin flowing into some of our asanas. So thank you for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and let's practice together. So finding a comfortable seated position, let me just adjust this really quickly. There we go. Where I am, there is a lot of energy swirling about, so we're really going to ground in this morning, center into the body. So finding a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged or on your knees with whatever support you need. And I invite you, when you're ready, you can close the eyes if that feels good for you. We're going to do a bit of an arrival practice here. I'm going to ring the chime 3 times, and the intention is for you to listen to the completion of the ring for as long as possible, and just allowing that sound and vibration to settle into the body, helping you arrive on the mat this morning. So in your seated position, just begin connecting with the breath here. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. Observing where you may feel the breath in the body today. If it feels good, you can place your hands on your stomach, your chest, just helping you arrive into the body. And as you listen to the sound of the Tibetan chime, just allow it to bring you even deeper into yourself, deeper into this moment, even more present and more aware. Grounding yourself down where your legs, where your body meets the floor. Taking an inhale breath once again. Exhaling down into the earth. Allowing yourself to calibrate to the sound. Let's take an inhale breath here. And exhale. Good. Continue to follow the breath. Let's bring some awareness to our seated posture. Noticing where the body meets the floor. allowing that to be our foundation here. Bringing your awareness into your base. Feeling slightly heavy here. Creating a secure lock foundation. And then bringing some engagement to the lower abdomen. We're going to begin to stack the spine. Bringing it into its most ideal alignment. This may look different day to day, so allowing the breath to move the spine. So we rise up, shoulders begin to fall back, relax back, shoulder blades slide down towards low back, along the spine, slightly opening the chest. Allowing the neck to elongate up, relaxing the jaw, relax the forehead, and then allowing the head to extend up towards the ceiling, imagining an imaginary string from the tip of your head up to the ceiling. And now allowing the breath to flow through you in this aligned state of being. Noticing the inhale as it comes through the nostrils. The sensation as it enters the nasal cavity up to the brain. Connecting with the prana, allowing it to flow through the body. Nourishing the blood, the cells, the tissue, the organs. And then on the exhale, imagining like a shower washing you from the inside, allowing everything to flow through you down towards the root and into the ground. Once again, inhale, noticing the breath through the nostrils. Feeling that prana, that life force as it enters the body, allowing it to wash over you like a wave. And then the exhale, that wave going back to sea, taking with it any stagnant energy, toxins, caught emotions, tension in the body. Release it with the breath. We're going to continue this for several cycles. If you would like to, you can introduce some retention breath at the top and at the bottom of the inhale and the exhale. You can also activate your Jalandhara throat lock and your abdominal lock on the exhale if that's in your practice. Connecting with the flow of the breath, allowing it to wash over you like a wave. For those of you who would like to begin the retention breath, we'll do a couple cycles together. If you'd like to stay within your own breath cycle, please feel free to do so. Finding what's right for you today. For those with the desire to do retention breath, we're going to begin with cycles of counts of 5. The inhale for 5 beats, the retaining at the top for 5, exhale for 5, and then retain at the bottom for 5. I'll lead you through 3 cycles, and then you can go at your own pace and find what feels right for you. So let's inhale together here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. Inhale. Retain at the top. Exhale. Retain at the bottom. Now at your own pace, continue forward with your breath cycle. Allow the breath to be a meditation. If your mind begins to wander, just bringing it back to the breath. Wherever you're at, let's take one more complete breath cycle here. Good. Nice. If you want to switch the cross of your legs, you can do that now. Maintaining the breath cycle here. We're going to begin to pair the breath with some movement. And so we're going to begin with some Sufi grinds. And if you've done these before, then you'll know, but here we're going to be rotating around the circumference of the pelvic bowl, opening up the hips, the low back, the rib cage, shoulder girdle. And we allow the breath to set the tone and pace of the movement. So if your breath cycle is a little slower, you're going to rotate through. Inhaling across the top of the rotation, exhale along the back side of the rotation. Inhale, exhale. Really allowing the joints, the tissue to open up with the breath. In my experience with yoga, everything comes from the breath. It's all about the breath. So as we move through not only the Sufi grinds and some of our other movements here on the floor, we don't want to lose that connection with the breath. When we lose that connection with the breath, I believe we're experiencing it. We lose some of the experience of the yoga. So that's why we begin with this breath work. We want to take it with us as we flow into our asanas, and then whenever we leave the mat. And so wherever you're at, we're going to begin winding ourselves up from this bigger rotation. So you can imagine a tetherball pull from the crown of your head down to your root through the sushumna, the center channel of the body. And you're just going to begin wrapping yourself like a tetherball around the pole, bringing in the circumference of the rotation. And then eventually you'll settle and find yourself in center. Reestablishing yourself with your seat. We're going to take an inhale, retention breath together. We're going to do it at a count of 5. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And then take a nice cleansing inhale and exhale at your own pace. Good. Then reconnecting with that breath. And when you're here and you're ready to move, we can come to the left side, and we're just going to begin rotating Sufi grind on the opposite side of where you started, allowing the breath to form and shape the movement. If you come across any tension in the body, you can pause and just take an extra breath, breathing into any tension in the body, allowing the breath to notate it for you. Good, let's take 3 more rotations on this side at your own pace. Good, and when you're ready, once again, just imagining that internal pull up through the center channel of the body. You just begin to wrap yourself around that pull. Allowing the breath to move. Good, and when you found your center, connecting in through the base, we're going to breathe here together. Inhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice cleansing inhale and exhale here at your own pace. You can exhale through the mouth if that feels good for you. You can audible exhale. Let it go down into the ground. Good. Very nice. You can adjust your legs if you'd like to. We're going to do neck rolls. So same idea here, just bringing it up towards the upper torso, the neck, jaw. So we're going to bring right ear to right shoulder, allowing the breath to lead the movement. We're going to begin rotating the neck down. You can inhale across the front of the chest. Exhale along the back side of the rotation. Once again, finding what feels right for you. Some days my breath changes up on me, so you can play with it, feel out what feels right for you today. And taking this as slow as you need, being gentle with the neck, breathing into any tension you may feel. Relaxing the shoulders down, creating length. Tend to hunch, so really have to stay aware and invite the shoulders down the body. And just enjoy this time. Allow the breath to nourish the tissues. The bone. You can open and release your jaw a little bit here, wiggling it around, just releasing any tension from the jaw as you move. Let's take 3 more rotations on this side at your own pace. Good, and when you're ready, we'll meet back in center. We'll take a breath here together, reconnecting with your base, checking in with your spine alignment. Let's inhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And taking a cleansing inhale and exhale at your own pace. Good. And now we'll do the other side. Left ear comes to left shoulder. Allowing the breath to lead the motion, we can begin rotating across the front of the body. Taking it as slow as you need. Finding the pace and the breath cycle that's right for you. This is wonderful to do in the morning after you wake up. Helps relieve tension, headaches, stiffness in the neck, upper back. If you do find a point of tension, you can pause there and invite the breath in, allowing the breath to increase the flow to that area. Let's take 3 more rotations on this side. Good, and when you're ready, bring yourself back to center. Reconnecting with your foundation, spinal alignment, shoulders roll back. Let's inhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Inhale and exhale at your own pace. Good. And before we flow into our asanas, we're going to do just a cleansing spine twist with breath. So a couple options here for your arms. You can bring cactus arms out to your side like wings, kind of like bat wings. You can also bring your fingertips to your shoulders if that's uncomfortable for you. And we're going to begin, we want to keep the alignment of the shoulder girdle. So imagine that you're like statue that can't move out of this position except for you pivot at the waist. So from here, we're going to inhale as we pivot or twist to the right. I don't want to break my frame. So I'm finding my limitation here, and then I'm going to exhale as I move to the left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. And you can take this at whatever pace is right for you. So if you really want to increase the cleansing and the detoxification, and if it feels right for your body, you can increase the pace and make the breath more vigorous. Or if it feels right for you to just take it nice and easy this morning, honor that. Let's do 5 more full rotations, right and left. Good, and we'll meet in center. Final inhale and exhale sequence here. Inhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Good. Just taking a moment here, finding any way else that your body needs to move before we transition. And we're actually going to transition into a standing posture. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to do my best to try and get my full body in frame, but I don't want to be annoying about the camera. So I'll try to give as best my vocal cues and stay in frame so that you can see, but really following the guidance of my voice here, because we do have some limitations with this home video setup. So great. Reconnecting with the breath here, hopefully taking it with you through your transition. And just begin settling the feet on the mat. We're going to just begin in a mountain pose here. You can be slightly towards the back of your mat. And really, as I mentioned at the beginning of the class, my feeling with all the energy that's present right now is really needing to ground in. So taking a moment here, and we'll build this posture from the ground up, bringing a lot of awareness now into the toes, the bottoms of the feet, where the feet and the mat meet. Feeling your feet as they lock onto the ground underneath you, creating a strong foundation here. And just begin to notice some heaviness in the feet, bringing more and more awareness to the ground. Noticing how your weight is distributed across the feet, both front to back. Are you leaning slightly to the front or slightly back? We want to find that nice center point. And then towards the inner and the anterior and posterior, the inside, outside of the feet, right or left, you could think about it that way. So are you pronating or supinating in your stance, or leaning more towards the inside of the inside of the arc, outside of the foot? So wanting to plant yourself firmly in the center of the foot. You can imagine 3 points, the 2 across the toes, 1 at the back, or some experience it as 4 points, like a rectangle of the foot, and just wanting to lock in all the points along the palm of the foot where it meets the ground. And then let's allow the breath, the inhale, to bring our awareness up the legs. We're going to have a slight engagement through the legs. We're not locking out the knees. Slight bend in the knees, activating through the thighs, up through the lower abdomen. And once again, just like when we were in our seated posture, we're going to build a nice strong foundation through the legs, through the pelvic bowl, tailbone down towards the floor. We're not over tucking, but we definitely want a presence of the tailbone coming down towards the earth. And then we'll stack the spine from there. Nice elongated spine. Rolling the shoulders back down the spine. Allowing the arms to have some weight to them, palms face open in front of you. Elongating the neck. And then if you can just imagine that invisible string from the top of your head to the ceiling, bringing just that little extra added length through the body. I actually feel, when I make that adjustment, I actually feel it through my hips. So it's very interesting where we're creating length from. I have a lot of hip issues, and I think I have a lot of compacted muscle and tissue there from all the sitting I do. So to elongate through the spine actually is increasing the openness of the hips. So just noticing where you're feeling that in your body today. And now inviting the breath through the posture. So we're in mountain pose here. And now, of course, wanting to enhance the experience with the breath, inhaling from the root, from the feet, all the way up the legs, up the body, through the chest, out the head. And then exhaling back down, allowing the breath to touch every point of the posture, through the fingers, down through the legs and the toes. And then let's do that again. Just inhale at your own pace and allow this to be your own experience here. Good. Take another complete inhale and exhale here. Good, and then on the next inhale, we're gonna bring the arms up over the head, stretching your wings out. Take your time here, full inhale. On the exhale, just bringing the hands back down. Crossing the arms in front of you, let's inhale them again, up. This time, we're gonna keep the arms straight up, middle finger towards the ceiling. Now mountain pose with arms extended overhead. So we still have that strong foundation in the legs, the feet, building and stacking from there. Not much has changed here except for the shoulder girdle and the chest opening here. Top of head reaching towards the ceiling. And just noticing what comes up for you here, allowing the breath to speak and to move. Take a nice inhale breath. And on the exhale, turning the palms out to the side, we're going to swan dive forward. Hands can come to the mat briefly. And just, you can shake out the legs a little bit here, not getting too stuck up about our posture, allowing the body to move. And then allowing the hands to come up to the shins, just under the knees, creating a flat back here, a little bit of a tabletop. Head is extending out in front of me towards the side wall. And I'm looking to create length from the very bottom of the coccyx, the tailbone, all through the sacrum. Just imagining a cord or a thread there, almost playing tug of war with your body. So really wanting to create some elongation through the spine. Backside reaching towards one wall. The front of the head reaching towards the opposite wall. Creating that internal tension. It's very subtle, but really creating some elongation through the spine. You'll feel this through the calves, the back of the knees, the hamstrings. Just saying, good morning, body. And of course, the breath here, helping us to open, bringing new oxygen to this tissue that's been stagnant while we sleep. Good. On the next exhale, you can bring your hands back down to the mat if that's comfortable for you. If it's too much on your hamstrings, you can bend the knees, placing the belly onto the thighs, or you can introduce the blocks or bolster to raise the floor, up to you. We don't want to break the posture in the back, so we're going to keep an elongated spine and really rotating from the hips to bring the hands to the floor. You can let the head fall heavy. Just take a moment to shake it out here. And now we're going to pair with the breath just a little bit of up and down into our tabletop on the inhale. On the exhale, coming down, hands meet the ground, head falls heavy. We're just working to open up the backside of the legs and allowing the reverse blood flow in the torso. So inhale, we come into tabletop. Exhale, torso comes down, hips rotate, hands come towards the ground, head falls down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And on this next exhale, bringing your hands down to the mat, you can begin walking them out in front of you. Coming in to a plank here. So creating a long straight plane along the back, not allowing the hips to drop down or to pike up, really wanting to find a straight plane here. If this is too much for you, you can bring your knees down to the mat, creating a modified plane. Breathing here. Let's hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to lower yourself down to the mat with control. Elbows come in towards the body. Placing the torso onto the ground. You can lay the legs flat on the ground here. Taking a nice inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Hands are in position to go into cobra. We want to be heavy through the legs. So you can bring some awareness to the legs, heavy through the legs, active through the shoulders, rotating the shoulders down, creating a strong spine here. On the inhale, lifting up into cobra. Exhale, releasing down. We're going to do 3 of these. Inhale into cobra. Exhaling down. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale down. Good. From here, bringing the hands out into Sphinx pose. Taking a breath here as we transition. And we're going to do the same thing here on your Sphinx pose. You can stay here if you need more. You can come up on the inhale. And on the exhale, you can come back down if that feels right for you. And do the same cadence. Inhale, come up. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Planting the hands down in front of you. You may want to bring the elbows in closer to the body. Palms flat on the floor. We're going to push ourselves up into a downward dog. So bringing the toes underneath the feet towards on the mat. Pushing yourself up through plank into downward dog. First downward dog of the day. So feel free to open up the legs, doing a little runner's lunge. Staying with your breath here. And when you've settled in with your legs, we're really going to bring some focus and awareness to the hands and the palms. So in your downward dog, imagining the palm in its completion, wanting to distribute your weight through the pads of all the fingers and out through the fingers. So full, complete weight across the palms. We're not putting all the weight in the wrists. Then from here, we want a flat plane from the tip of the head to the tailbone. All the way back to the tailbone. So you may need to bend your legs here, especially if it's early in the morning for you. And tailbone reaches up towards the ceiling. Head or neck comes into a neutral position. We don't want to strain the neck. Breathing here. See if you can bring your retention breath. Let's do one retention breath cycle from downward dog. So you're in your downward dog. Let's inhale together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Retain at the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Bringing your knees down. Feet go flat on the mat, and you can bring yourself down into a child's pose. Using this time here to reconnect with the breath, stabilize the breath cycle. Take one more inhale and exhale here. Then on the next inhale, coming up to all fours. Staying connected with the breath, we're going to flow right into cat-cow. So on the cow, we're going to inhale, drop the belly. Chin comes up towards the ceiling, tailbone rotates up. Exhale, we're going to invert this, so rolling the body down, creating an arc through the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Tucking the chin, allowing full extension through the neck. Inhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Rounding the spine through the shoulder blades. Good, and when you're ready, releasing down to a neutral spine. Beautiful, take an inhale and an exhale here. Let's go ahead and take a really brief child's pose reset. So bringing the hips down towards the ankles. You can extend your hands out in front of you, resting the forehead on the floor. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, we're going to come back up to tabletop. So on the next exhale, coming back up to tabletop. We're going to do a shoulder opening here. So thread the needle if you're familiar. I'll speak through the props once we get into the posture. So we're going to begin with the left hand, planting the left hand wide across the mat, distributing the weight through all 5 fingers, and really creating a strong post here for the body. On the next inhale, bringing the right arm up towards the ceiling, creating some length and extension. And then on the exhale, you're going to bring the right arm down, threading it through the space that you've created with the left arm torso. Right shoulder comes down to the ground. Left elbow comes to the ground. And your tailbone and your butt are basically reaching up towards the ceiling. So you're wanting to create a little bit of tension and length through the body here. And you can kind of inch that tailbone even down towards your ankles a little bit, as if you were going into child's pose, if that feels good for you. And you can keep your right ear on the floor if that's comfortable for you. You can also turn forehead onto the mat and extend the left arm. This is all about personal preference and finding what feels right for you, what gets that shoulder stretch that you're looking for and what you need today. But the important thing here is pairing the breath. So once you've settled into your position, really reconnecting with the breath cycle here. Inhale, allow the breath to move through the body, flowing into the shoulder joints, the hips, low back, all across the shoulder girdle. Let's take 3 more breath cycles here at your own pace. Good. And when you're ready, if your left arm's extended out, bring it in so you have the support of that elbow. And then we're going to begin bringing the arm back up. On the inhale, sweeping the right arm through. You can bring it back towards the ceiling for that extension, full rotation. On the exhale, bringing the right hand down to the mat. Taking an inhale and an exhale here. For any reason or at any time you need to take a child's pose or a savasana, please feel free. So now we're going to go to the right side, extending left arm. So first and foremost, creating a strong foundation with right hand, distributing the weights, 90-degree angle from the shoulder, distributing the weight across all 5 fingers, creating a really strong foundation for the body here. Heavy through the low legs, tops of the feet meet the mat. And when you're ready, on the inhale, sweep the left arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale, extending up. And on the exhale, bring it down, sweep it through, threading the needle through the right cavity that you've created with the body. Bringing the left shoulder to the floor. Left ear can come to the floor. You can also bring your forehead to the floor. And then thinking about your hips, we want extension through the hips. Thinking of the tailbone reaching up towards the corner of where the ceiling and the wall meet. So just adjusting your hips where it's right for you. And begin connecting into the breath here. Allowing the inhale and the exhale to take you deeper into the posture. And then when you're ready, you can begin to prop yourself up on that right elbow. Begin to prepare for the transition out. On the inhale, you can plant the right hand, bringing the left arm through, all the way up to the ceiling. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, left palm comes down to the mat. Good. Inhale and exhale here. On the exhale, you can flip the toes down. Inhale once again. Exhale, we're going to push up into downward dog. Legs may feel a little more open now. Good. And from here, we're going to look into the space between our hands. You can hop, skip, walk, jump, up. Once you're firmly planted here, hands on the ground, we're going to inhale. Hands come out to the sides, palms come up overhead. On the exhale, you can bring the palms down through the center channel of the body. Then from there, releasing the hands into mountain pose, taking another inhale and exhale here. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to step into warrior one to begin. So want strong foundation in the left leg. Step back, right foot's at a 45-degree angle, and I'll switch this around in just a minute. Whoop. There we go. Right legs or right toes 45-degree angle, and really establishing the foundation with the legs. Before we even do anything with the arms, we can just place them on our hips, because we want, just like we did in mountain pose, the beginning of the standing series, we're going to create a foundation through the legs and then work up from here. And so we want to be in a position where we can hold it for some time and really work with the breath. So I'm not going to take this lunge down super far and where my thighs begin to shake. I'm going to take it to kind of a medium place to start with, coming up and just allowing the body to open. It's early, it's Sunday, so allowing the body to ease into this. So we've already been here for some time, so if you're already wobbly, shaky, let yourself have a moment here, okay? Beginning with the feet, okay, so much like when we were in mountain pose, left foot, we should have our weight evenly distributed across the foot. With our back foot, it's really easy to want to either step in on the insole of your heel and put all your weight there, or do the opposite and really put all your weight on the outside of the foot. Really finding that sweet spot. We want it well balanced, strong foundation, really pushing through the entire foot here. So we've got an active and engaged leg on the back. We've got the perfect distance that we're creating from the floor with the left leg to where we can hold this and really work with the breath, work with the arms, okay? So breathing up here, inhale from the ground up, all the way through, engage slightly through the lower abdomen, stacking the spine up, opening the chest, roll the shoulders back. Okay, we're in warrior one here. So from here, shoulders rolled back, we're going to bring the arms up overhead. Nice, strong warrior one here. For some of you, if this is uncomfortable in the right hip for any reason, too tight for you today, or if you just need to have a little bit of an adjustment, you can always come up onto the toe, shifting the knee towards the front into a crescent lunge. That may help open up this psoas muscle, the hip flexors. You can also just kind of rotate between the two if that feels good for you. You want to create a little bit of tension through the two legs, almost as if you're trying to bring them, huddle them together, bringing everything up underneath you, creating a strong foundation so you can rise up from it. And that's where our arms come in. Very good. And then from here, on the next exhale, let's open up to our warrior two. So now the right foot comes out to a 90-degree angle, still keeping this left leg bent. And opening the chest wide, heart opening to the front. Breathing here, connecting with your breath. And allowing that breath to really flow through your chest, out from you. Strong warrior here. Good. If it's too much on the left leg, feel free. You can lift it up and then bring it back down. Being gentle with yourself here. Let's inhale one more time. Feeling it all the way up through the body and then release it back down. Good. While we're here, let's go ahead and straighten left leg. Go into a little bit of a triangle. Not a little bit, we'll go into triangle. You may want your blocks handy. If you don't have them already, you can grab them here. Just coming back to the beginning of our side angle. So with arms outstretched, we're going to pivot right hip towards back wall. So just creating a little tilt in the pelvic bowl here. I'm a little teapot. I had a teacher always say, think I'm a little teapot. So you begin to pour yourself forward, keeping the chest open. Okay. We don't want to collapse the chest, so we really want to maintain the integrity of the posture. Stretching arm up from almost as if it was an extension of the ear. You can rotate the gaze up towards the ceiling. This is where the blocks come in. If it's uncomfortable for you or if your hand doesn't reach the floor, you can bring the floor to you with the blocks. Create more stability, more support for yourself in the posture. And then begin to breathe. If you weren't breathing already, we want to bring awareness to the breath all the way from the heel, up the leg, up the entire right side of the body. And you'll have to forgive me. It says we're having trouble with the video, but I hope that's just on my side and that you can still see it. So let's just hope. So we're here, breathing all the way up the right side of the body. Good. On the next exhale, release the right arm down, bring arms wide out in front of you, or to your sides, excuse me. And then from here, we're going to turn in the left foot so that the toes start facing each other, rotating the feet in slightly. Bring our hands out wide on an inhale. And on the next exhale, coming forward like a tabletop, flat back. And you're going to try to grab the outside of your heels with your fingers, but we don't want to compromise a straight back. So that means we're probably going to do quite a bit of bending the knees. So you're coming kind of into a crouch position so you can maintain a flat back. Head extends forward. We're reaching for the outsides of the feet with our fingers. So wanting to bring the fingers underneath the outsides of the feet. This will give you a nice stretch through the hips, through the butt, the hamstrings, all the way down, back of knees, as well as really creating elongation through the back, the neck, reaching the head towards the wall, trying to bring your nose down to the floor. Good. On the next inhale, breath, release. So we're here. Exhale. exhale, just take another inhale breath. Good, and we're gonna rotate and flow right into the right side. So we're gonna rotate towards the right. Now the right foot's in front of us. Warrior one, so left foot should already be slightly at a 45-degree angle. You may have to step out to the, you may have to step out to the left a little bit. And then you just begin slowly bringing the leg down into your warrior one. Hands can just rest on the hips for now. Engagement through the leg. Once again, finding that perfect balance of where you're pushing yourself and you're getting some strength building here, but you're also not overdoing it to a point where you can't hold it. Really creating a strong foundation through the foot. So bringing awareness to the foot here. Wanting to distribute the weight on all four corners of the foot evenly through the foot. We're not bringing the knee in or out. We're stacking the knee on top of the ankles. Left leg is stretched out, 45-degree angle on the foot. Active here. Once again, if this is too much on your hip or you just feel like you need something different, you can always go into a crescent lunge here, coming onto the tips of the toes. Once you feel firm in your base of your warrior one, rotating chest towards the front of the room, shoulders roll back, strong arms as we come up, and breathing here. Inhale up from the ground all the way through the body. Feel it through the legs, up the spine, up the head. And exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. On the exhale, you can open up. Transition into warrior two. Right leg's gonna stay bent. Left leg comes to more of a 90-degree angle. When you feel a strong foundation, you can open up the arms, stretching them out like wings to each side. Warrior two. Maintaining the breath through the transition if you can. Taking it with you, breathing up through the legs. Out through the fingertips, and then exhale, allowing it to come back through the body like a wave. Inhale, strong warrior. I am powerful. I am strong. Exhale, let it go. See if you can come just a little bit deeper into the posture. One more breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Next inhale, straighten the right leg. Set ourselves up for a little bit of triangle here. So once you have your strong foundation, you can kind of sass this left hip out slightly towards the wall. I'm going to bring the torso down. So arms extend out, reaching right arm towards right side of the room. And then you're just going to tilt yourself like a teapot. I'm a little teapot. You could twist yourself down. Wanting to maintain the integrity of the framing of the chest. So we're not collapsing here. Really opening up, extending through the chest. Can push slightly on this right knee just to create just a little bit more openness. And then of course, if your hand doesn't reach the ground, which it most likely does not, you can either hold it there with strength. The correct word is probably more activation. If you're in your alignment, you'll have that and it'll just be a slight activation. But you can also bring your blocks in and bring the floor to you, creating more support, more stability. Really extending through the left arm, reach it towards the sky while the shoulder still stays in its socket. So creating that internal tension there. You can rotate the gaze and the chin up to the ceiling. Breathe. Let's take 2 more breath cycles here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Go ahead and release. Left and right arm comes out to your side. You can pivot this right foot in. We're going to bring, right now toes are pointing towards each other, just kind of inching the feet in. Okay. And we're going to transition into a goddess pose. So from here, we're going to bring the feet out slightly, pointing kind of diagonally towards both sides of the room. This is going to be completely different per person. It really depends on how your hips and your pelvis are shaped, and men and women, very different experiences here. So honor what's right for you. But with their toes pointed toward kind of diagonally out in front of us, we're going to once again just create that strong foundation. We're going to do a little bit of movement here. So really want to be firm through the feet. Feel really stable here. Okay. Let's just take a breath to connect here. Inhale. Up through the legs, torso. Exhale down. For goddess pose, we're going to be bringing our hands into kind of cactus arms and bending our legs down. Okay. But we're adding some movement here. So we're going to hold this for 3. 1, 2, 3. Inhale up. We're going to lengthen the legs, reach up to the sky. Nice long inhale. Filling the body with prana. And then on the exhale, coming back down into goddess. 1, 2, 3. Inhale up. Exhale down. 1, 2, 3. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time we're going to hold. Staying here. If this is a lot on your hip joints, you can shift back and forth a little bit. Just lubricating the joints. Tailbones pointed down towards the floor. It's kind of an inward rotation of the hips. Breathing here. 2 more breath cycles here. Inhale. Wide across the chest. Exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Then next inhale, come up. Arms stretch up. On the exhale, bring them down. We're going to keep our legs wide because we are going to transition here into our next posture. You may want to walk them in slightly. Again, this is going to be super dependent on you and your body. You may also want to bring your blocks if you have them. We're going to come down into a yoga squat. So, going a little bit further than we did in our goddess pose. You can bring your palms to your chest, or if you want to have your hands, you can help guide your body into the squat. We want our feet, as best they can, to be flat on the floor and the weight to be distributed evenly across the feet. Ideally, heels are on the ground. That may not be possible for your biology. It's okay. And then from here, bringing elbows into the knee creases, palms come together into prayer by the chest, really opening, lifting the chest up as best you can. You're going to feel extension through the hips, really opening the space there. If this is not possible for you, there's a couple things you can do. You can bring in supportive blocks to bring the floor closer to you so you can do your squat. You might be here. Okay. You can bring blankets or a bolster as well. And if you're going to stay in this posture a long time, sometimes it's nice to just have a block to kind of get into more of the subtle muscles as well. So inhaling here. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. When you're ready, placing the palms on the floor. If you have a yoga block, or if you just need some support coming out of this, you can use the hands to help you up, or you can come straight up out of this with strong legs, lots of control. And from here, let's step the feet together. Palms can stay over the heart. Let's just do a nice cleansing breath. So exhaling the arms down. Shake them out. Shake out the legs. Inhale, arms up. Touch overhead. Exhale down. Cross over the body. Inhale up. Touch at the top. Exhale down. Cross over the body the opposite way. Inhale up. Touch at the top. Exhale down. And let's just take a really brief mountain pose here. Reconnecting with the breath and your foundation. We're going to be transitioning into tree, so we're really going to want to have that connection with the legs. Really strong foundation through the feet. So once again, feeling heavy in the feet, weight distributed over all four corners of the feet. Slight engagement through the legs, the hips, the lower abdomen, stacking the spine, opening the chest, rolling shoulders back slightly. Taking a breath here. And then relaxing the neck, the jaw, and imagining that imaginary string from the top of your head up to the ceiling, just elongating the spine. Good. So we're going to begin with tree, planting firmly on the left foot. Begin transferring your weight to that left side. Depending on which tree you have in your practice, you can go right into it. You can also just begin kind of with stages, if you will. So first, bringing all the weight to the left side, strong foundation through the left leg. This is our root, this is our stump, our base. And then we're going to begin inching the right foot up the leg. So we begin with toes on the mat, right heel just comes above the ankle, resting here. Hands can be on your hips, they can be in prayer. You can have them out to your sides, wherever you feel most in balance with yourself. And then you can begin bringing the right foot up, low calf, underneath the knee. We don't want to put any weight or pressure on the knee. And then if you have it within your practice, you can bring the right foot up towards the groin, high thigh, planting it here. And throughout this, we really want to maintain the integrity of the pelvis. So making sure as best we can, we may not all have mirrors, but feeling into right and left hip, being level. And also when you think about the right and left hip, like being one in front of the other. So really wanting to have a lot of a strong foundation even through the pelvis here. Breathing here. Finding your center, your balance. This is a process. So if just allow the posture, the asana, to inform you. You don't need to attach to it looking a certain way, being a certain way. Just let it inform you of where you're at today. Let's take one more breath here. I'm going to give you the option here. If you do want to do a bound lotus, you can bring the leg towards the hip, allowing the right knee to drop down. And you can begin bending over the leg just for that additional stretch. If this is not in your practice, please do not hurt yourself. Just begin releasing your tree pose with control down to the floor. And you can come into mountain pose. If you are in bound lotus, go ahead and take one more breath cycle, allowing the head to be heavy here. And then on the next inhale, bringing your hands to chest, and then coming up with control, releasing the leg down. Good, and you can shake out the legs slightly. Take a nice inhale and exhale here, coming into a mountain pose. Good. Let's begin to shift the weight to the right leg. Standing firm on all four corners of the foot, firmly planted on the ground. Strong foundation through the leg, through the pelvis, the lower abdomen, chest stacks. We want to maintain a strong frame, strong trunk for our tree. And then we begin to bring the left foot up. Whatever's right for our practice today. So left toes on the mat, left heel on the high ankle, low calf. Once you feel stable there, you can bring the foot underneath the knee on the side of the calf. Establishing your foundation here. For those of you who have an advanced tree practice, how often do you go back to some of the foundational pieces and just see where you're at with those? It's kind of interesting. And then coming into full tree up here at the top. Leveling the hips, creating alignment. Connecting with the breath. If you want to advance your practice from here, you can raise your hands up overhead, extending towards the ceiling, strong, long, big tree. And then from here, you can challenge your balance by closing your eyes. You can also shift your gaze towards the ceiling and close your eyes, or just stare at the ceiling. Challenging yourself in a new way. Connecting to the breath here. Let's take 2 more breath cycles wherever you're at. Good. Bringing the hands into prayer at the chest if that's comfortable for you. You can begin exiting out of your tree. Sliding the leg with control, down right leg. I'll also invite you, if it's in your poses or in your practice, you can come into bound lotus, bringing the left ankle towards right hip, left leg rotates down towards the floor, and then you begin hands to chest, pivot down, extending through right leg, head becomes heavy. Breathing here. If you did not go into your bound lotus, just releasing the leg, coming into a mountain pose, connecting with the breath. If you're in lotus pose, on the inhale, releasing up from the ground, flat back, coming up with control. Release the left leg with control, and then coming in.